Well, it was just 2 years ago this day, June 19th, became a federal holiday signed into law by President Joe Biden to celebrate Juneteenth. A day that many families, especially black families, have celebrated within their own homes for decades, but just recently becoming more widely known throughout the nation, while many still learning about it right here in Southwest Florida. So that is why Fox 4 evening anchor Nadine Yanes is live in downtown Fort Myers right now, where Nadine, we've actually been seeing celebrations all weekend.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Shari. So as you mentioned, this was a federal law that was signed as a holiday back in 2021. Now, Florida, ironically, was one of the first states to recognize Juneteenth and observe it in the 1990s, but Florida does not recognize it as a state holiday yet, which is why a lot of people went to work today. But Shari, you said it, the celebrations were all weekend long, including unveiling of this beautiful mural behind me here in Dunbar. And we wanted to show you a little bit of that in the history here and why it was so important to unveil it over the Juneteenth holiday. The murals are the work of local artists, part of the city's redevelopment of the historic McCollum Hall. Now, the McCollum Hall was first used as an USO for black soldiers, and then in the 1930s and 40s, it was a famous dance hall that hosted the greats like Duke Ellington, Louis Armstrong, Otis Redding. The mural is also featuring local legends like Ella Piper. She brought the first beauty salon to the area, and then Evelyn Canaday, known as the mother of the Dunbar Easter Parade. Her family still here in Dunbar. It is a celebration for Fort Myers history, culture, and art that coincided perfectly with Juneteenth, as explained by the director of the Fort Myers Mural Society.
With the Juneteenth celebration, it was a freeing experience. It basically says this was the foundation for our freedom. And I think a lot of the people that participated at McCollum Hall or in the Bucks backyard days felt kind of freed by the music and the art that the area represented. So I feel like it really complemented each other. That sense of equality and inclusion and freedom is really where I see the dancers, or everybody seems to be sort of exhibiting a passion for unity. And I think that's what the Juneteenth celebration was all about.
And the party this weekend continued at Roberto Clemente Park. Juneteenth, again, signifying June 19th, when the last enslaved in Texas found out that they were actually free 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. The Lee County Black History Society showing the 1800s, there were black slaves here in Southwest Florida used to believe to be in Bonita Springs and Estero to provide labor for the planned pineapple and tropical fruit plantations. And for Douglas and Sharon Kinchin, they were born and raised in Fort Myers. They live in Lehigh now. For them, Juneteenth is their Independence Day.
It's very important because it's our history. It's American history, of course, but it's our history. And a lot of this stuff that you can find out and learn about Juneteenth, we can learn about it now, but we have to recognize that when we were in school, and even in school right now, this is not something that they talk about. They don't talk about black history in school, or either if they do talk about it, it's distorted. We need to know our true history. We need to know who we truly are and where we truly came from and what our ancestors dealt with.
And even now you see families here in Dunbar celebrating Juneteenth by visiting these beautiful, colorful murals, again, honoring and celebrating the history of Dunbar and what the families of those who were enslaved right here in Florida contributed to our history here in Southwest Florida. If you want to come visit the mural, it's right off of Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard. Also, the Lee County Black History Society is open Wednesday through Saturday if you also want to learn more. Until then, we are live here in downtown Fort Myers. I'm Nadine Yanes. Back to you.